So a couple weeks ago, I made a video on the popularity poll for the One Punch Man manga, and I was really surprised to see Glasses at number 12. Now, of course, this was a couple years ago, and it's just taken into consideration the Japanese fans, but it surprised me because I thought that Glasses might have been like a niche favorite to the Western fandom. But no, it just turns out that this dude is just universally loved, and it makes sense because I already talked about him in the original Glasses video that I made, and I hope that you've seen it. That also, brought to my mind, like, wow, we haven't talked about Glasses in a while. And it's understandable because there hasn't been any updates to this character, but there have been a lot of updates to the story that might give us more insight into what could be going on with the future of Glasses, because that's certainly going to be a thing. As I always talk about with this guy, there is a reason One is putting so much emphasis on this character, and you're not saying like so much. What do you mean? Well, he's got two bonus chapters dedicated to him, along with the big sequence in chapter 81 and 82, and they even actually went out of their way in season 2 of the anime to include Glasses' backstory, like a New Wind Blows bonus chapter that, a lot of people seem to have skipped over, judging from the comments on the original Glasses video that I made. And I feel like that's another reason why that video blew up so much, is because people didn't know about this guy. But now that they do, I think most of us realize that there is some significance to him, especially down the line in the story. So just to give you a refresher, the last time we saw Glasses in the story at all was in the bonus chapter called Growth Process, which was released in volume 16 back in April of 2018. So it's been a little over 2 years now since we got any updates on our boy. That's fine because, things have been really clunky and difficult with the manga, especially as of late. Over the last 2 years, we've barely really gotten any kind of bonus chapters, because we were kind of accustomed to getting them all the time before that. But it's understandable because, a lot has changed, especially with Murata and One. And they've been more so focusing on just getting the story done and adapting it into its own separate continuity, breaking away from the webcomic. But that also being said, Glasses is not in the webcomic at all. He is like a super manga exclusive character. And as we have seen, at least us webcomic readers, One has been bringing over manga exclusive characters into the webcomic continuity. So I'm not sure if Glasses is ever going to come to the webcomic, or if he will just stay in the manga and that is the only way we'll ever see his journey play out. But anyway, in that Growth Process bonus chapter, we saw Glasses meet up with Eyelashes, his former quote-unquote teammate from the his days in the Fubuki group. And he pretty much power scaled himself, I guess, in this chapter when he blocks Eyelash's kick. Now, this was just testing from Eyelashes, so they don't really have any kind of beef or anything, but this is just showing us the growth that Glasses has gone under since his encounter with Garo. We also see that he has been promoted one rank, because originally we saw him at B class rank 21 going against Garo, and then in this bonus chapter he is now B class rank 20. It's irrelevant because, in my opinion, he is clearly A class level at this point. Eyelashes himself is B class rank 2. Considering Fubuki, shouldn't be in the B class, she should be in A class, we can just look at Eyelashes as being the true number 1 B class hero, I suppose. So considering how well, or the implications of how well I'd say that Glasses could do against Eyelashes here, I think it's safe to say that he's A class through and through. And I know that Glasses in this chapter obviously says that Matsuke, aka Eyelashes, is stronger than him, but he says, knowledge, experience, decision making. I'm lacking all of those things. The only thing that's changed for me is determination. He's just being humble here, and he's in the process of grinding. But I think it's pretty clear, based off of just his performance against Agaro alone, that Glasses would probably dominate Eyelashes, in case anyone was curious about that. But the real big reveal in this chapter is when Eyelashes pulls on Glasses' sleeve, we see the scars on his arm, which obviously indicates he's been going through intense training, obviously similar to how we saw Saitama. I went over all of this stuff in the original Glasses video, but a thing that I didn't talk about in that video is the progress of where Glasses is on the supernatural power scale within the One Punch Man world, which could possibly all be emanating from one source. So I'm thinking that this means that Glasses hasn't really gone into like the monsterization or just too deep into the power scale yet. I always thought that, this just showed us that he was undergoing the training, but I think it's also showing us that he hasn't picked up the regeneration ability yet that we've seen Garo undergo, of course, as he went deeper into the power scale, and believe it or not, with Saitama as well, although his is way more subtle, and I talk about that in my video, Saitama's Dark Secret. So it's very possible that when Glasses returns to the story, we might see his arm or his body or something, and it might be like clean, like there's no more marks on it, and that could be, a big indication that Glasses has gone to the next level. But other than that, I'm going to go into webcomic stuff now. And also, like I said, he's not in the webcomic, but I'm just going to be taking a look at the future events of the story to maybe kind of figure out where Glasses could be headed. So I think we all pretty much have a good idea of when Glasses could come back realistically, rather than just some random Deus Ex or some random bonus chapter that one of Murata decided to drop. And that is going to be once the Neo Hero stuff comes to the manga, because that is going to be fleshed out so much more, in my opinion, than it is in webcomic. And it's already done excellently in the webcomic, don't get me wrong, but we know how Murata and One like to go, crazy superfluous with the manga, which is not a bad thing. It's great. So I'm thinking that Glasses for sure is going to be included in this storyline, and more focus will be put on him. Now, is he going to be a super powerhouse in this arc? Probably not, because not enough time has passed, unless he's undergoing like a quicker growth than the, like Garo, or maybe on the same level as Garo, but definitely more than Saitama. So at that point, I assume that Glasses is going to stay with the Hero Association. That's because he looks up to Saitama. So maybe he would like, think like, where's Saitama going? I'm going to stay with him because I like him. He's the guy that I look up to. He's the guy that gave me the inspiration. Now, I don't think he's going to be a major player in that arc, but he will be a player nonetheless, and we'll see him do stuff, at least hopefully. But where I think Glasses is headed, and this is going to be a big leap. Now, I know we talked about him removing his limiter, and that's a possibility, but like I said, that there's just not enough time I see passing in the story, even by the end of it, for Glasses to realistically remove his limiter without some kind of divine intervention, and that could be where Glasses is headed here. And it's possible that, like, God, he might just randomly pick Glasses as one of his like messiahs or one of his soldiers or something, and he bestows the power onto Glasses to, like, I don't know, maybe remove his limiter manually. Now, of course, we don't know if God has this ability yet, but there might be just a little crumb of exposition out there that could be implying that. And I'm not going to get too much in that video because it's so speculatory, but even if he doesn't remove Glasses' limiter, he might give him some kind of crazy power, as we saw he could give to Psychos and Homeless Emperor recently in the manga. So I think that would be pretty cool. We see Glasses become somewhat of like the anti-Saitama through the intervention of God or something, and that could be the ultimate destiny of Glasses, maybe. Just a theory, but let me know what you think about all of this. Where do you think Glasses' story is headed? I mean, he's definitely coming back. There's no doubt about that. But let me know. If you like the video, guys, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon that gives you extra weekly Q&A, and if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.